This is the Exeter Deliberative Session Rundown for February 4th, 2023. 65 voters attended Saturday's session, with 33 articles presented. The warrant articles were presented by town staff and representatives, and residents had the opportunity to voice their feedback or make amendments to the articles. Article 3 regards creating a new fire substation on Continental Drive in the west, requesting a $16,300,000 budget to do so. Several residents stepped up to the microphone to express their thoughts.
We'll have a crew that can actually initiate actions and work with the crew of 3. We'll have the equipment on both sides of the railroad tracks, as stated earlier.
Is the $16,300,000 enough?
I don't want that street to look and perform like a strip.
After the discussion, no amendments were made on the article. For Article 5, they're looking to spend $798,000 to implement intersection improvements at 2 locations. A majority of the money would be used to create a roundabout on Front Street at the intersection of Linden and Pine Street, while a smaller portion of the article would be used to make improvements on Winter Street intersection at the intersections of Columbus and Railroad Avenues. Many voices spoke for and against this.
I look at this project right now, I look back at what we did back then, and I see the same problems. It sounds great, but will it really work?
I've seen roundabouts that really are a great solution. That's a very frightening intersection.
An amendment was presented to the voters. With 11 votes in favor of the amendment and the remainder voting against, the amendment did not pass. The article will remain on the ballot as written. Article 10 covered the town's budget and was introduced by Town Manager Russ Dean with a detailed presentation. Following Article 10, the town moderator expressed a need to push the meeting forward and presented the remaining articles in rapid succession, all of which will proceed to the ballot with no changes. The last 2 articles to be discussed were 2 citizens' petitions. Article 31 was on the petition of Dwayne Staples and other registered voters to authorize and direct the Select Board to keep the roadway and Swayze Parkway completely open to motorized pleasure vehicles in a one-way direction. The issue of the parkway has been an ongoing point of discussion for the town as the Select Board chose to close the parkway to vehicles during the pandemic to allow for more social distancing throughout the park. An article in 2022 was approved by the voters to make the road permanently closed to vehicles in the southern half of the parkway and allow for a turnaround by the pavilion. Many had varying opinions on this.
Their family would not be able to access this if they had a disability. Sure, they can park up at the other end. It's still quite a walk to get down there.
But the way people drive through it now is a problem.
I believe that the speed bumps might really solve the main actual issue there.
The article will appear on the ballot as written. The final article discussed, number 32, was a petition by Chris Zigma and others to create an ordinance to limit the distribution and subsequent disposal of single-use plastics through reductions and limits on all town properties. After a short demonstration, voters of the town spoke on the article.
This article is a good kick in the pants to all of us. Why the heck does it take a warrant article to get our select board to do what they should have done already?
What is the strategy maybe for helping vendors themselves figure out a way so that we don't have a beer and chili fest where we don't have any way to distribute the beer, God forbid?
The reason that we haven't done this as a full town-wide issue is because by state law we cannot. But we're a Dillon's Rule state, so we can only do what the state provides us to do.
The article will appear on the ballot as written. After all 33 articles were concluded, the town voted to dissolve the meeting and close out the nearly 4-hour-long session. You can watch the entire session on our YouTube page under the Live tab. If you're looking for any particular article or discussion, you can check the progress bar and see which parts of the meeting happen at which timestamp. The second half of the town meeting, the town election, will take place on Tuesday, March 14th. You can find all your election information at exeternewhampshire.gov/elections.